What's up, folks? It's your boy, the OG GM, coming to you from Site B on a Wednesday morning at 9:30 in the morning. It is foggy and cold, and I have to wake up looking at this face. Look at him just smiling, knowing that he's lying through his teeth, knowing that he is full of doo-doo. But, friends, occasionally I have to do my civic duty. Occasionally, I have to take one for the team. Occasionally, I have to throw myself on the grenade to keep you safe. And when it comes to Jeremy Crawford and 1D&D, it is my civic duty to unwillingly drag myself into the lowest depth of game reviews and take a look at the latest 1D&D Unearthed Arcana Playtest volume, which includes a whole bunch of new stuff that contradicts stuff. And I'm not going to go through the video because people far smarter than me already have. Tanker from Tanker Tavern has gone through the video. And more importantly, Joe the lawyer, who is a lawyer, has gone through the video and pointed out all the inconsistencies and outright BS. So, yeah, anybody who still had any faith that D&D 2024 is going to be completely compatible with D&D 2014 or D&D 2023. No, it's not. The changes in the classes are, if even half of them go through, are so drastically different that there's no way you could compare a 2024 first level character with a 2014 first level character. The power creep is just 100 times worse for the new characters. And you can't run the older adventures because the math is so different that there's no way the older books would be in any way, shape, or form comparable. So if I made a 2024 fighter using the brand new rules with Grays and Vex and Polearm Mastery and all the other stuff, and went through Minds of Feldelvin, which was designed in 2014, 2015, for a then, first level party straight out of the player's handbook, I would just dominate. It'd be God of War, toppling things. Got this new mechanic called Grays, where even when a fighter misses, they still do damage, which I think we've heard from other games before. I guess that means even if you miss, you still do your your strength modifier damage because you grazed them. Because that's fair. Now, there's no mention of whether the bad guys get this. Do the monsters get the same thing? I'm going to assume no. But if you're a DM and you want to keep your game on even ground going forward, everything the player character should have, you say my NPCs and my monsters get them too. If your first level fighter can graze and still damage my one-hit die goblin, even if it misses, then my one-hit die goblin can graze and do damage to you, even if it misses. What's good for you, good for me. But I don't think Crawford says that. Now, I'm not going to go through the video because people far smarter than me already have to. I have posted the link down below to Tanker's video. He goes through it. And more importantly, I have posted the link down below to Joe the lawyer's, and he goes through it. And he's a lawyer. And thankfully, another person has done the work for us by making a spreadsheet of all the information. So let's just read what this person found, and that way we don't have to do it. Otherwise, it's 50 minutes long of Jeremy Crawford congratulating himself and lying through his teeth. This comes to us from an individual named Velthraris, who did a quick rundown of it, jotting notes. Warlock, you're more powerful than ever. Pack Boon is moved to first level. Patreon choice at third level. Pack Magic replaced to spell casting. Why even still have this class? Just make it a subclass of wizard or cleric. You still have your invocations. Invocations are being reworked. You gain the ability to contact your patron, which I think they always should have had. All warlocks get Hex and Eldritch Blast for free. That's nice. Fiend Patron is the play-tested one. Dark One Blessings, new expanded spell list to replace this Patreon spell lists, because now you get spells akin to a paladin or ranger. So you don't get your spells until like third level, but you only have 5 levels of spells. There's Warlock exclusive spells. So remember that thing where they said there's only going to be 3 spell lists. and all the arcane casters get to choose from the arcane list. All the divine casters get to choose from the divine list, and the other guys get to choose from the primal, which is stupid. Just have 2, arcane, divine. Primal is just divine. Well, now, nope. Warlocks have exclusive spells that you can't take, wizard, unless, of course, you take a feat that lets you take them. So literally when they said, we're not going to do that anymore, we're doing that. Sorcerer, why are you even still around anymore? They get their subclass at 3rd level. They have an innate sorcery ability at 1st level now, where they get to throw Chaos Bolt for free. You get meta magic easier. You have sorceress exclusive spells. So again, why have that whole thing where we said everybody gets to share if now we're not? There's sorcery points that are now random, and you get sorcerer's versions of rage. We have the draconic sorcerer is the example. You lose draconic presence. You get a breath weapon that now hits multiple targets. You get more ways to use selected damage, like elemental affinity. You get to dragon wings earlier, and you can now heal yourself. Wizards. Not many changes. You get bonus ability checks related to knowledge checks at 2nd level. You get your spell book at 1st level, which includes ritual casting now. There's exclusive wizard spells like Scribe Scroll and stuff like that. And memorize a spell is now a spell. Modify spell, create spell. Why not just give wizards meta magic feats? So yeah, wizards look like to be about the same. Fighters get the weapon mastery stuff. You get 2nd wind more often. You get to be able to customize weapon mastery. You get higher level features. Plus, we get the weapon mastery, weapon expert, and weapon adept feature. Fighters are now going to get to be able to cast spells. Yeah, Barbarian also gets weapon mastery. Gets rage, but you get rage to last longer. You get danger sense and feral instinct are now the same thing. And going berserk no longer causes exhaustion. General, priest and experts are going to be going over again because I guess people weren't happy with them. There's a ton of new feats. There's a ton of new epic boons. And there's the weapon mastery feat. So Crawford, now that's the first big take out of this, is even though Crawford continues to insist it is compatible, we have gone through it and realized, no, it's not. Oh my God, why do I have to even look at this? The other thing is Crawford says classes don't exist anymore. Classes are a construct, not a canon. Because player characters in D&D don't know their classes. So the build should just reflect what somebody would normally acquire while adventuring in D&D. So therefore, there shouldn't be meta magic or min-maxing or anything that makes the character look like a class, because classes don't exist anymore. They're a construct of the mind. They're not canon to the game. Now, a lawyer looked at this statement 4 times, and it doesn't make any sense to him other than, yes, Crawford is lying out of his ass. Now, I watched the video, and it's obvious to me, but I'm an idiot. So once again, people far smarter than me have done the exact same thing, including a lawyer, and have pointed out the inconsistencies and the bold-faced lies. But I'm going to break it down to you to words that I understand, and hopefully you will understand. Dungeons & Dragons is going digital. The game is being designed to work like a role-playing game. You're no longer going to be playing characters. You're going to be playing medium-sized humanoids who then get to pick and choose little abilities as they level up, similar to the NPCs that were presented to us for the Honor Amongst Thieves character builds. It is not backwards compatible. There is no way it is backwards compatible. You cannot have the 2014 through 2023 stuff and play it using the 2024 stuff, because the power creep is just so different. A first level fighter 2024 with the weapon mastery, especially if you take like Grays and Vex and the other things, is just God of Warring over any normal one hit die goblin. Oh, I roll. Oh, I missed, but I still graze him. I graze him for 4 points of damage. Oh, well, my one hit die goblin is still dead. Do they get the stuff? No. So I highly recommend you go to the links down below, because I'm not going to talk about this much more than I actually have to. Joe the lawyer gives probably the best honest review because he is a lawyer. Tanker probably gives the second best. I'm sure we'll find more as the day progressed. Carver's lying through his teeth. You can see it in his face. You don't have to be a genius to see it. Anybody out there who still has faith in Wizards of the Coast? Well, God love you for trying, as long as you're not being an elitist jerk about it. And yeah, I don't know what else to say. So let's read comments. Bill Allen. Hi, Bill Allen. Like, share, subscribe, and buy my merch. He watched the video. I actually think that most of these additions to combat are not necessary. 100% agree. I've never thought they were necessary. Most of the feats from day one I thought were not necessary. Power attack. You just say, hey, can I do this, DM? Can I, it doesn't need to be a feat. It just means I want to hit harder. Wasn't the whole reason we introduced advantage and disadvantage was so we would get rid of this stupid mechanics? Power attack. Okay, you get disadvantage, but if you hit, you do more damage. We don't need a mechanics for that. If a player is descriptive about what their character is doing in combat, it can just be narrative. No need to add additional mechanics that complicate and slow down combat encounters. Yes, absolutely. What is the number one complaint about D&D? D&D is too math hard. Look at all the Reddits, look at all the Twitters, look at all the posts from the 5e crowd. The math is too hard. Playing D&D and running D&D since 2014, I agree. The combat math is too hard. So what do? Make it harder. They've killed my interest in this edition. It's not an edition. It's a reversion. They're not adding anything new. It's just taking stuff they've already done and regurgitating it in a brand new, approachable way. Nothing's changed. They said so themselves, even though they're constantly contradicting themselves, lying through their teeth. And yeah, but don't worry, because it's all going to be a video game soon. So you won't have to worry about it, because your top-of-the-line computer will be able to run the new software, should it actually ever exist, and then it'll do all the work for you. The game needed less mechanics, not more. Absolutely agree. Soon to come, the Pinkerton build. Yes. And dips aren't constructs. I'm not sure what you mean by this. And my phone's ringing. Hello? Yes? All right. I will put the cat away. Thank you for calling. Yes, the door broke. I still have the door and the oven. Yes. Hopefully this one's not broken. All right. Thank you. Hopefully this one's not broken. Thank you. Bye. Sorry about that, guys, but I'm expecting a delivery. So if classes are conscripts, then dips are too. I want to take a dip into Warlock, I guess he's just saying. The Pinkertons burst through OG's door. Well, they don't need to burst through the OG's door. I have a huge glass door that they could just go through, and I don't lock my doors here because it's pointless. Since half of my house is just one gigantic window of glass, anybody who wanted to break in would just go, okay. Because, yeah, this is a badly designed house. Completely unsafe. Should a disaster ever break out? Remember how scared I was during the flooding, because, yeah, you don't care. All right, so I'm doing this because it's my civic duty to be impartial and to present the news to you guys regarding the trash fire that is Dungeons and Dragons. Do I expect it to get any better? No. Do I expect the results of the playtest to make any matter? No. They're already showing it didn't. They're literally said we're going to redo the previous two because I guess they didn't like the responses. And nothing we're going to do in this matters, because once everything is play tested and surveyed, it's still going to go through a compliancy criticism. Now, that sounds like something you do with a computer program. Is this computer program compliant with all the other computer programs I'm running, or do I need to update it or change my drivers? But that's okay, because they're thinking of D&D as a video game now, not as a physical, tangible product. So we know we're getting a player's handbook sometimes in 2014. We know we're getting at least 1 year-long adventure path featuring Vecna, who they will probably do the same thing to Vecna like they did to Strahd and Lord Soth and all the other bad guys. He's no longer the Vecna of old. He's now a kinder, gentler Vecna who doesn't want to do horrible, awful Vecna things. He wants to, just go to a Starbucks with you and discuss your problems individually over a latte. Yeah. And then after the player's handbook, we will get the new Monster Manual, which we know nothing about other than it'll be mostly art. And then sometime after that, we'll get the new DM's guide, which we know a little bit about. Most of it sounds like fluff. And as usual, with every other DM's guide ever, nobody really cares. We only really care about the section on magic items and the random tables and, whatever. So, yes, but remember, it's not 6th edition. It's not 5.5. It's not a brand new edition. It's just a revision of what they've always done. It's 100% backwards compatible, even though Crawford shows us plainly, if you look at the mechanics, there is no way this can be backwards compatible. It is a brand new edition, and you're no longer a character class, you're a construct, because player characters don't think of themselves as thief, fighter, wizard. I'm just a guy wearing a pointy hat who does magic, but I don't think of myself as a wizard class. And I'm certainly not going to take one level of fighter, because there's no such things as fighters. What's a fighter? He's just a guy with a sword. I can pick up a sword, right? Because class is a concept. It's not a construct. There's no classes in D&D. So then you should just get rid of them. I mean, if it wasn't D&D, the mechanics you used to make the characters for Honor Amongst Thieves was actually okay. I could see that being an okay system if you ran with it. Everybody's a medium humanoid. Everyone starts with a D8. Everyone starts with a certain amount of points to pick and choose. It's GURPS for an idiot. But yeah, dumbed down GURPS based upon everybody starting as a medium humanoid with a D8 hit points. And then you get points to choose, or you could choose a package like the elf package, costs you 2 points. That could have worked. But it's not D&D. D&D is a very simple construct that we all love and appreciate, that has been lovingly embraced by the OGL. Games like Castles and Crusades and Shadow Dark and whatever else have taken this and evolved it to the point where it should be. Wizards on the Coast, other hand, own the name D&D. So as I have said for years now, they can just call whatever they want D&D. They can call this cup of coffee D&D, and by the magic of copyrights, this cup of coffee is now Dungeons and Dragons. Is it Dungeons and Dragons? No. Can they call anything they want Dungeons and Dragons? Yes. Do we have to play it? No. Are they shooting themselves in the foot? No. In the past 48 hours, I think we once again reconfirmed that Wizards of the Coast is their own worst enemy. I could only assume at this point in time, with the 5-year plan that I told you about months ago, Hasbro's basically completely given up on them. They've handed them the rope, and they're saying, look, should you actually make $1 billion a year, then great, we win. Our fans win. If you don't make $1 billion a year, great. We get to blame everything that goes wrong on you, like the Pinkertons thing. And 5 years from now, we can cut you loose and go, look, we tried. We gave them 5 years. We set a very reliable, easy to achieve goal, make $1 billion. And you didn't. So yeah, what does D&D 6X June 2027 mean? I don't know, but it's still on the calendar. And it probably means that's the due date. If you haven't fulfilled the contract we made on January 1st, 2023, which so far you haven't, Wizards of the Coast. Yeah, and just to make sure, because I don't think I've checked it yet today. Where are we? Hold on a sec. Did I check this already today? I can't remember. Oh, look. Wizards of the Coast lost $1. Yep. So stock dropped $2, went up 20 cents, dropped again, then back up to 20, but then went back up 20. So right now it is still floating around 108, which is a $50 loss to where it was a year ago this point in time. But don't add to that, of course, the news that they're now working with Mattel. They're possibly selling off the digital rights for Transformers and G.I. Joe. Tokyo and Toei are not happy with the way they handled Power Rangers after the $3 million deal. Netflix is like, so Wizards of the Coast is bleeding money, and Hasbro has now created Wizards of the Coast as a scapegoat. Oh, everything that goes wrong is their fault. Pinkerton Detectives, that was them. You're angry about racist fish? That was them. Is there any good ideas in this new playtest? If you're looking to play 6 and you've never played before and you sit down at the table for the first time and you're given this and you have no basis for comparison, I guess it works. I don't know. Jeremy Crawford seems to think so. Look at him just lying through his teeth. Again, yeah, people smarter than I have already reviewed it and will continue to review it. And I've already wasted 21 minutes of your time. And I've got to put Steve away because the oven guy is coming to replace the oven that he broke from the last time and the time before. So this will be the third time that they're replacing this oven. Past 2 times, both broken by the delivery guy. And it's the same delivery guy delivering the third. So who wants to bet me money that it's going to somehow be broken? But it doesn't matter because my oven is just a construct. It's not a canon thing. I don't have an oven. I just have something that makes food for me that's warm, but doesn't know it's an oven. Doesn't know it has 18 strength. Yeah, whatever. I'm the OG GM. If you appreciate this nonsense, let me know. If you never want to hear me talk about Wizards of the Coast, you probably should go to another channel because it is going to be the #1 story on a daily basis. I'm sorry, but it is. I wish I was talking about some other company, but God love them for taking all the attention and giving me something to talk about. Because if I was talking about like Villains and Vigilantes and only talked about Villains and Vigilantes, most of my channel would just be dead air and me making random characters. So thank you, Wizards, for giving me something to talk about every day, even if it's never anything good. So have a great day to all my fellow gamers out there. Stay warm, stay dry, stay healthy, stay happy. And of course, I do have to let you know that should you choose to go to Big Geek Emporium, need more cowbell, go to the OGGM collection of Minions on a Mission product, Bill Allen, purchase one of the 11 issues of Minions on a Mission that is available for only $2 on Big Geek Emporium, DM Kurt, and then review them on your YouTube channel, Cat Monroe Superhero. I will not send the Pinkertons. Please go buy my merch, review my merch, talk about my merch, badmouth my merch. I assure you that if you go to Big Geek Emporium, link down below, and purchase my merch and talk about it on your YouTube channel, I will not send the Pinkerton Detectives to you. So thank you if you do choose to do that. Not that I'm shamelessly plugging my own stuff. No, I'm just letting you know that should you choose to buy my merch, please buy my merch. I won't send detectives to your house. That's it. If you appreciate me, let me know. If you don't appreciate this, let me know. I got to let you go because I got to get the house ready for the new oven, which I will bet you $1 will be broken.